So we are done with Marrakesh. So I'm gonna go to Lagos first up, which is 37. And I guess the idea here is I'm trying to hit every single node that I can in the most optimal pathing. So like the thought is I go across into Tokyo, into North America, hit Anchorage, which is a scenario, and then do like Bermuda, and then after that it'd be like Bermuda, Yobor, Havana, San Juan, or what was it? Havana, Quinto, Buenos Aires, Rio de Janeiro. Which means I would hit every blue thing once at least. But there's like 9 mystery locations, so I don't know if if my plans will change on that to try to hit some of those, because I assume those are more interesting stuff. Like spoilers from TTS, there's at least 2 other scenarios that aren't known entities. I don't know which ones they are. Or are there 3 scenarios that aren't known entities? Oh, man, let me check my notes. 1, 2, 3. We got Buenos Aires, Havana, Anchorage are left, and we haven't done Sanguine Shadows. We haven't done Dancing Mad. We haven't done On Thin Ice. Okay, yeah. So there's two more, and then this is the final scenario that I assume unlocks somehow. So, all right, Lagos. Are we delivering for the Foundation? I don't think so. No. All right. So we are going to Special Delivery 3. Following a set of coded directions from the Foundation, you follow a pact. Oh, actually, let me read the. Okay, well, there is a dossier here to talk to Kiana Taylor, but no information other than Lagos and Tokyo. So, all right. Following a coded set of directions from the Foundation, you follow a packed road to a small cafe in the heart of Lagos. Seated on a veranda overlooking a bustling market is Commissioner Taylor, noticing a filled glass with a deep red liquid. As you approach, she shuffles a deck of playing cards with one hand and looks up to you. You can clearly follow directions, she says, gesturing for you to sit across from her. But do you know how to play whilst? A warm breeze stirs the air as you take your seat, and Taylor deals you each 13 cards, then reveals the top of the deck, a one-eyed jack. Now talk. As you play, the Commissioner asks you questions about your findings around the globe. As the final trump card is revealed, Taylor looks you dead in the eyes. We have identified 13 members of the Coterie so far, but evidence suggests there are more, far more. Even if we catch one, the organization will persist, and that's to speak nothing of their many operatives and minions. It'd be like trying to remove an anthill by catching individual ants. You ask the Commissioner what she's getting at, and she lays down her last card with a smirk. The way to bring them down is to cut them off at their source. Play your last card, a near loss. Taylor gathers up the cards. I win this time, but I look forward to our next game. She sips her drink. Do not forget what I said. Find where they congregate. As she speaks, a towering suit approaches from the side of the building and whispers in her ear. I am sorry to cut this short. I have business in Monaco. Unfortunately, I don't have time to deliver these documents. See that these reach our operatives in Tokyo. Alright. So, sorry, we spent 1 time to get here. And I will have to mark our time here and read something. So, the cell is delivering intel. Alright, and then we must add a copy of Foundation intel to their deck. It's in the Globetrotting. Alright, what do we got in here? Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Foundation intel. Wow, that's gross. It's just a weakness. It's a weakness that's an asset, but it can't leave your hand. It's kind of weird. Alright, well. More cards to clog up Wendy's hand, I guess. Alright, I'll put those over here to remind myself when I clean up. I'll put it in the campaign log. So, well, I mean, I guess I'm planning to go to Tokyo anyway, so. You know, I realized I didn't do an intro, but that's fine. you know, if you're watching, you know I'm Ben. This is Mr. University Radio Plays. I'm doing world traveling as its own video because I plan to hit like 7 stops or whatever. So, you know, like and subscribe if you like hearing me talk, I guess. I don't know. or my voices. All right, so then we mark another time. Puts us at 15. So I have to do B. Oh man. Time's over here. You receive a coded missive from Commander Taylor herself. Agents, not long ago, massive explosion occurred near Pokadamienta Tunguska River in Siberia. It is now classified as an impact event, but this is just a cover story. Our intel now indicates coterie involvement. I have reason to believe that this may be the site of one of their sanctums, perhaps even their primary safe house. You have clearance to investigate the site, but be prepared for anything. Add 1 cultist to the log. Find Tunguska, write 57Z in Tunguska, or 59Z. You are now allowed to travel this location when you embark. Oh man. Alright, I have to add a cultist. So the cultists are like the worst tokens in this game so far. They've been, or at least modifier wise. They haven't been friendly. Alright. Okay. So we have unlocked Tunguska. Okay, so alright, so I'll have to think about whether I want to go there or go. I guess I can detour there between on the way to Shanghai, I guess. Alright, so I will move to Nairobi, which costs a time. Oh, does it say the campaign will end? Oh, okay. And I guess not. Is that the last scenario? Oh, it is. Okay, so I guess forget that. I don't think we want to do that yet. I think we want to try to do some more scenarios first. Oh, so you can now have the option to end like kind of early then, I guess, to make it like a short campaign. I imagine there must be something. There's probably some advantage to doing it sooner rather than later. But that's good to know. Okay. Cool. All right. I marked a time for moving to Nairobi, and I read 54. All right. Infernal machinery. Dossier. File 54W. Subject class green. Real identity. Masai Tawai. Last known location Nairobi, Kenya. Hereafter known. Subject W. 54W. Hereafter known as Tuwile Masai. Oh, that's just their name. Tawali Masai is a slim man of Kenyan descent, middle-aged, and 176 centimeters in height. Coterie signifiers include large red spectacles, redacted, of redacted, and redacted with coterie operatives. Subject was written and published openly under their name in numerous geological and archaeological periodicals. Paradimensional capabilities. No known reports. Subject appears to possess no such capabilities, or has successfully hidden redacted from Foundation intelligence. Sightings. Tawali Musahi teaches under a fellowship at Oxford University and has published numerous surveys on work at and around Lake Victoria. Approach procedure. Musahi has spurred all Foundation contact thus far. Operators may wish to approach only if Musahi has reason to trust them. Okay. A heavy green mist hangs in the air above Lake Victoria as your biplane touches down on a dusky runway. All leads in Nairobi about Tawali Masai point to the shoreline of Lake Victoria, where the coterie member is said to have transported several tons of survey equipment. A faint but sharp scent of alkaline carries in the breeze. As you walk to the lake, where several large boats are laden with heavy machinery at the shoreline, sunlight catches a pair of thick-rimmed spectacles down at the pier. Professor Musai, you greet the wiry man as he steps ashore. Musai looks past you nervously as he wipes his glasses. Well, We definitely don't have anybody on our side or done any of this stuff because we've been pretty anti-coterie. So I guess we're going to 3. I'm terribly sorry. I don't have time to chat. Messiah says he steps slightly past you. You follow him, pressing for some assistance or insight, anything that can help you with your struggle with the road coterie. I had no idea I was doing with the Foundation. You must be new. Messiah regards you in a new light, and then leads you to sit in a makeshift camp. Very well. Please wait here, and I'll help you as soon as I can. You sit in a comedically short camping chair under the awning as the purser walks out of view. The minutes drift away as the clouds overhead break, and the heavy rain begins to fall. After waiting for some time, you stand up and look out to the shoreline. The boats have gone. When you ask the locals for the professor's whereabouts, they tell you he ended his survey and paid for passage across the lake. After returning to Nairobi, you check with the British consults. I'll figure it out later. Consulate. As you discover that the Messiah's travel expenses are being footed by his fellowship with Oxford. His declaration of travel includes an obscure address in Bermuda. Pocketing this information, you continue your travels. Okay, so he fled to Bermuda. Don't really get anything from this stop other than time. What's his name? How do I spell his name? Well, I guess that's a reason to go to Bermuda. I'm a little worried that I'm gonna. I'm very confident actually we're gonna run out of time before we reach every zone with all these stuff. Oh, it's an achievement just to go straight there early? I guess that makes sense, because you go there when you're weakened or whatever. I didn't look at any of the achievements because they're usually a little bit spoilery, and I like to try to go for them on replays if possible. Fled to Bermuda. Okay. Alright, so we're going to embark again. So I'm going to go to... Still going to stick with the plan, go to Bombay. Cost of time. Time's running out fast. Where are the actual places I need to go again? Havana and Anchorage and Buenos Aires, I think. Yeah. Okay. Probably have time. So Bombay is 36L. All right. Architecture 1. Alright, the air is deliciously warm as you wait for a tram in southern Bombay. With several days until the next leg of your journey, you allow yourself to be drawn in by the city's intoxicating color and light. A whirlwind first day sees you visit various temples, curious shops, and bazaars. Bright orange flowers hang by strings from bamboo racks as you make your way through a bazaar towards the Colaba Causeway, where the gateway of India looks out onto the waterfront. As the day turns to evening, you continue to explore the back alleys and side streets lit by delicately inlaid bronze lamps. The air is thick with unknown scents and hazy shapes as you lose yourself in the heady atmosphere of the old city. As you make your way to the hotel, you cross a wide thoroughfare into the Kalala Goda district and stroll down its old winding roads. So we did appreciate the architecture at some point. I guess that was in Stockholm. So we go to 2. All right. As you navigate the labyrinthine art district, you pass a familiar sight. Looking up, you see a narrow building with a slate facade, wide black windows, and unsettling accents. You have a distinct feeling you have been here before. You stand still for a moment as others pass you in the narrow street until you remember the same building in Stockholm. If not for the distinct black windows and harsh lines, you might not have remembered it. As you scan the facade, the frieze overhanging the door stands out to you. Where there were various recognizable figures before, you see odd, gangling facsimiles. The features are almost plastic, the smiles are too broad, the eyes seem to bulge. The number 13 is carved next to the door, same as in Stockholm. Curious, you step up and turn the doorknob, but it doesn't budge. Knocking the door produces virtually no sound, although it looks like wood. It feels solid as concrete. Stopping a passerby, you ask how long the building has been here. This is an ancient place. These buildings have been here a long time, they tell you. You find yourself questioning if the original you saw was even the original. How many other houses look just like this one in how many other cities? The building grows more foreboding the longer you look at it. A shudder courses up your spine, and you decide to leave the building alone. Alright, so we appreciated the architecture and got 2 extra experience. Well, that's 2 more than we had. But it's going to cost us an extra time, which isn't ideal. So we appreciated the architecture. Well, I mean, hopefully that also will be helpful in something later. All right, so Kathmandu. Oh, I misread it. Oh, cross off. Okay, so never mind. It was just 2 experience now. Appreciate someone's here to help me learn to read. Let's see. Appreciated architecture. I guess do that. I don't think there's a strike through support here. All right. Did I already click the time? Let's see. You marked a time at the end of Nairobi. Yeah, okay. At dark time in Nairobi, I moved to here. I added an extra embark, and then I moved to Kathmandu. So yeah, 18's right. I'll go back and double check it. All right, so I'm in Kathmandu, which is 53. All right. Dossier, file 53V, subject class undetermined. Real identity, Upateratria Alaki Zani. Last known location, Kathmandu. Subject 53V, hereinafter maid with the scarlet sash, appears to be a teenage girl of unknown descent wearing a white dress and red sash. Redacted. Paradential capabilities. Redacted. Paragraph. Sightings. Locals in the region have reported seeing a spirit matching subject's description. Heralded by a high-pitched whistling sound. Unclear if redacted. Approach procedure. Subject risk class unconfirmed. Do not approach. Alright. Whistle in the wind. A chill breeze flutters through the streets of Kathmandu, along with a faint, shrill whine. To the north, the Himalayas loom over the city, only their peaks illuminated by the westward sun. Pinks and purples bathe the sky in vibrant beauty. You could stare at such a breathtaking sight forever. But you have a job to do. Despite the quiet, peaceful evening, that soft, sharp piping does not cease, like an aching sense of dread in the back of your mind. As the evening drags on and the whistling grows louder, you realize you are not the only one who can hear the strange sound. It feels as though it is reaching out to you directly, as if it hears you, too, as if it knows you. On a whim, you close your eyes and strain yourself to listen closer. It's difficult to tell where exactly the sound is coming from. It seems to waft all around you and echo throughout the streets, but it grows in volume as you round the nearest corner and head north. And so north you continue. Eventually, you reach an art gallery nested between several age-old buildings. The whistling here is fervent and unpleasant, like a boiling kettle. Though the gallery is closed at this late hour, you're unable to easily find an open side entrance. You brace yourself into the gallery, where dozens of Neapolitan sculptures and paintings are on display, many carved out of wood or stone, others made out of ashtadadu, an amalgam of 8 different metals, and still others made of terracotta. The whistling suddenly stops the moment you reach the rearmost section of the gallery, where a single lot remains strangely empty. There is no trace of what might have been there, just an empty space where something historic and treasured is clearly meant to be. Then, a lone voice pierces the sudden quiet, speaking a language you don't understand. You turn your heels, body tensing. On the end of the hall is a girl dressed in white, her figure seemingly ethereal in the faint beams of fading sunlight that permeate through the building. Her long black hair is draped over her face, masking her expression. A long scarlet sash wrapped around her waist flutters behind her, despite the fact there is no breeze. You freeze. The figure of the girl does not move. Her hair and sash drift steadily in the stillness. Then she speaks once more. Again, you don't understand a single word of it, though you notice that she has switched languages. Recognizing a few root words, you recognize she is using Latin. She speaks again, this time in what sounds like ancient Greek. If she is trying to communicate with you, it may be wise to play along. You ask her what she is doing here, why she guided you here. Her response is yet another language that eludes you, one that sounds like somewhat a blend of Egyptian and Greek. Read only if an investigator has a drifter trait, excluding Wendy Adams. Extreme bias against orphans. Oh man, what a ripoff. Alright. Is that only Ashcan? Who else is a drifter other than Wendy and Ashcan? I feel like there's one more, but I don't remember. Alright. Due to the language barrier, it's difficult to get a sense for what she wants from you. As you attempt to decipher her intent, she approaches slowly, her steps making no sound whatsoever along the wooden floor. She gestures to the empty lot next to you and whistles softly as though the sound might carry with it some meaning. You wonder if perhaps there's might have been something here, and then realize it is gone, vanished from history without much of a trace. I thought is Ursula like a wayfarer or something? I don't remember. You recall the woman's name from the Foundation dossier and ask her if she is also on the trail of the entities responsible for those kinds of appearances. I pronounce her name. Aliki does not seem to understand you, but she tilts her head in recognition of the sound of her own name, then wrenches something from around her neck and extends it to you in a closed fist. Accept what she's offering, or do not accept her offer. Alright, so we haven't really been very consistent. Our decisions are mostly based on which thing do we think will get us the shiny object that we get to collect. And it kind of seems like she is offering me a shiny object for free. But we've also been like refusing to access the coterie at all, and this might also be making a deal with her. Windy likes shiny objects. Alright, we're gonna do accept. Alright. You extend your hand, and a small device on a silver chain falls into your palm. It is a whistle, carved out of bone to look like the head and beak of a white raven. Glancing back up at Aliki, she points towards the plaque next to the empty lot and says something once more in what sounds to you like Latin. You ask what she is after and what the significance of the whistle is, but she remains cryptically silent. Turning over the whistle in your hand, you find no markings or clues as to its purpose. When you glance back up to question Aliki, she has vanished, replaced once more with a cold wind that seeps into your skin. Then, though no one else seems to hear it, the piping returns, soul-wrenching, ear-splitting. It does not cease for as long as the whistle remains in your possession. This feels like a bad choice. Record the cell possesses a mysterious whistle. We both take a trauma. I add a tablet token back and bark. No, I was hoping I would get a shiny key. But seems a little worse, I guess. All right, well, I hope this mysterious whistle is extremely valuable in the future. I think there's a good chance, because this is blind, that we don't know like what, which things link to what stuff, that like we're gonna do stuff that just doesn't help at all. All right, so we remove an elder thing. And we're adding a tablet back. So we're back up to 3 tablets. We're also not doing a very good job of like committing just to squids or tablets. But whatever. Alright, so that cost me an extra time? No. Alright, so on to Shanghai. Which costs another time. And Shanghai is 32. Drink some more water. All right. File 32J, the Coiled Serpent. Asset name, Lee Flint. Area of operations, Shanghai, China. Recently acquired agent in charge of undisclosed cell reporting directly to Mission Taylor. Current assignment. According to the recent report, Asset has split from the rest of the cell and is currently in Shanghai investigating whereabouts of subject 46Q. Asset loyalty to Foundation cause is unsure. Extreme vigilance recommended. Oh yeah, we did know that. Agent Flint split up. I guess we do know a little bit of information from somewhere in this first scenario, right? Yeah, this. I did not really read this, other than that I know it basically tells us where scenarios are. But this isn't a scenario. Huh. Is there another place I've forgotten to go? Oh, Nairobi. Oh, but Nairobi also didn't. Oh, that just told us where the final scenario was. Okay. And all these other ones I've marked as scenarios except for Shanghai. Aren't there 10 scenarios though? Okay. So maybe I don't even have a clue on how to find the last one. Alright, not all those are scenarios? Nairobi wasn't. I thought the rest of these were, because they mentioned there being a key. I don't know. Alright, so, yeah. Okay, so Shanghai is 32. Alright. You send a missive to Ancient Flint ahead of your arrival, setting a meeting place and time, Jingyang Temple at noon, and head there as soon as you arrive, entering the broad stone courtyard at the temple's entrance. After a short while, tourists approach you and ask in English. What was my Flint voice? Are you sure you're alone? It takes you a moment to realize that the tourist is none other than Flint, in a subtle yet convincing disguise. He knows his eyes to stare at you. Answer me, he says, scanning his surroundings. You assure him that you haven't been followed. Can't be too careful. Eyes everywhere. I have a lead on one of those coterie types here in Shanghai, just like the Foundation intel suggested. They call her Subject 46Q, aka Lady with Red Parasol. Sure enough, she brings that parasol everywhere she goes. Oh, that's him talking. So, sure enough, she brings that parasol everywhere she goes. As far as coterie insignias go, it's not the most subtle. While he whispers, he pulls a large camera and tripod from his duffel bag and painstakingly sets it up. A shot of the temple. You wonder aloud what in the world Flint is up to. Stop staring, he hisses under his breath. Then you spot other tourists taking photos as well, and you realize that Flint is better at blending in than you are. The last time I saw the lady with the parasol, she was leaving a meeting between several wealthy British and Chinese businessmen, railway men, he says quietly. Head still down. Women aren't usually allowed at such meetings, nor are regular citizens. To be in that room, you have to be able to get the attention of those powerful men, which means you're either very powerful or obscenely wealthy. Flint takes a few photos, then moves to a new spot and starts the tedious process of focusing the camera all over again. Within 2 weeks of that meeting, they announced a lucrative new contract. It seems all their competitors were convinced for one reason or another to step away from the project, which left them to write their own ticket. Name their own price. He slowly scans the courtyard again, careful to move his eyes and not his head. Could she have leverage on them? Or maybe she's just that charming. But I'm willing to put my money on it being the influence of a key. If that's true, it's imperative that we're not made. Flint's paranoia is infectious. What do we do with Taylor? Told her the truth. Okay. Look, I would tell you more. Maybe even let you help me out here. But you've made it pretty clear that you're a bit chatty. And the last thing I need is the coterie to figure out I'm onto them. So how about we split up? Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll contact you when I have good lead. Without any protest, Flint packs up his camera and leaves. Alright. So, Flint is working solo. Alright, in your campaign log, find the 6th spot from the current time and write Psy. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's here. Let's do time 25 has Psy on it. Okay, let's hope I remember that by the time to get to trading. All right, I guess that's it for this. So that is Mark. So I guess I keep going to Tokyo then. All right, so so that costs another time, which means I have to do whatever that Greek symbol is. Oh. All right. You return to your hotel after a long day of travel and investigation, only to find your room in shambles. A grim feeling sprouts in your gut. Someone has clearly turned your room upside down in search of something, and you're pretty sure you know what. You rush to the safe where you have been storing the paradoxical artifacts you aren't carrying on your person. To your horror, it's empty apart from a single red card. Reaching out to the Foundation contacts, you believe you have tracked the culprits to one of 4 likely coterie sanctums. Perhaps if you're quick, you can uncover what was stolen from you. Boo! Alright, sounds like my stuff's being stolen. Let's check the keys. Find each of those keys whose bearer is investigator. Choose one at random. 2 instead if there are 5. No more keys in total. Those keys have been stolen. Well, I guess luckily we only have 4. Well, I guess we'll shuffle them, and whichever one is on top will be the one that gets stolen. Oof. Well, I mean, Dan only uses this like he's used it once maybe, and that was maybe on like the an asterisk check. All right, so I mark this as stolen somewhere. All right, gather each of the enemies in the red coterie whose name matches those who you haven't seen the last of, and choose one at random. This is the identity of the character who stole your key. Yeah, that's true, Butthead. But I mean, but the bad guys get less of them, and them having them is bad usually. All right, so let's find these guys. So we have the Claret Knight. We have Red Man, Red Gloves, and we have Amarath, right? It's just those three? It's not like a fourth one that I've forgotten about, right? No, because we did AC. She was the one in the first scenario, and we didn't fight her. Okay. Alright, so those three. And shuffle. Oh, it's the red gloved man. Okay, so he has the Eye of Ravens now. Alright, what else is going on over here? In Central Asia, America's North Atlantic sections of campaign log. Find Kabul, Kinto, San Juan, and I don't know how to pronounce that city. Reykjavik. All of them put 14C. Oh man. Okay, so. Well, I mean, at near the end of my planned journey, I was planning to go to San Juan, but that might be too late. That's hard to tell. Oh, Kabul, that's nearby. And is this Iceland or Greenland? There's no chance I pronounced it properly. There's no chance. That can't be right. If I haven't heard of it before, Reykjavik, it's like Norse, right? Or Slavic or something. Yeah. Which one didn't I write down? El Quinto. Oh, those two are both next to each other. Okay. All right. So I can embark to those locations. That's not a scenario, right? No. So it's probably like an event there to steal it back or something. I don't. That's like 3 locations away from me. I could. Yeah, I'm planning to go to San Francisco next. I guess I could go. That costs time. I guess if that was the one that like Dan used, if that was one of like the good ones, then maybe I'd say it's a higher priority. But I think maybe we'll just hit it whenever I do this area on the map. So I think we're gonna do San Francisco next then. So visited Tokyo. Now we're going to San Francisco. I guess I'm supposed to mark that I've unlocked these, right? Okay. Did I forget to do Tokyo? Oh, I did. You're right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So Tokyo. So 37. All right. Oh, this is the delivery thing. So we are delivering. We do special delivery 2. Threading away through the crowded streets, you meet a shrouded figure in a back alley. Reciting a phrase written in your instructions, you whisper, 6 lions prowl at dusk. The figure lowers the brim of their hat and recites the callback. A pride feasts in darkness. Relaxing your guard, you hand the Foundation operative the documents, and they retreat into the shadows. I don't think this was ever told to us, that this was a secret password. But, you know, yeah, the time is... I am definitely feeling the time in this, because it's like, obviously my completionist passion, we'll say passion, is really making me want to hit every single thing. But I feel I'm getting more and more the feeling that that is not possible at all. So I want to at least hit. Yeah, I want to hit as many scenarios as possible so that I can start talking about it with people, because I've been keeping my head down and not looking at any spoiler chat and stuff. And this has been out for like 2 months, so and we'll talk about it at the podcast at some point. So Dana and Harrison have already played it like twice through, I think. So Dan and I have been dragging our heels. All right, so what's the reward here? Yeah, that's probably the case. I feel like there's a good chance I'm sure there must be secret scenarios. Again, because I looked at TTS told me a little bit there, and I'm fairly certain that we will have missed some. Plus, we have 3 regular scenarios, or at least 2. It's at least 2 we haven't done here, like Sanguine Shadows, Dancing Mad, On Thin Ice, Shades of Suffering, and Without a Trace. But Sanguine Shadows is 16B, or D, so that's over here. And this is Havana, and this is Anchorage. So, you know, I know those are over here. So I'm hoping I can at least hit Anchorage and Havana. I'm worried about maybe having enough time to get to Buenos Aires, but I guess we will see. Oh, MJ said it was impossible to hit everything. That sounds right. That sounds like something MJ would do. Specifically despite the collectionist. That's okay. All right, so let me actually resolve this. So we succeeded at delivering the intel. Where that is. Okay, and then we get to remove the Foundation intel. Really? Okay. Well, maybe we don't get the secret scenarios this game, and yeah, there's this. You can add standalones, but those add time, and also there's a whole standalone that like gives you a key, which is the Fortune or Folly, which we're not doing if that wasn't obvious. I mean, it adds a lot of replayability, because you could like, you know, say, oh, we're gonna hang out in Europe. We'll do and maybe Africa. We'll do like the 4 scenarios there, and we'll also do like Venice and Monte Carlo and like Cairo or whatever, which is like another 3 or 4 scenarios. Well, Cairo's the Egypt scenario, right? The Guardians of the Abyss, which is like 2 scenarios. And Monte Carlo is also like kind of 2 scenarios, because it's like split into 2. So, or you could do an adventure where you like go hang out in North America and do something in Arkham and New Orleans or stuff. I don't know. It's definitely interesting. So, so I have to pick a token to reduce. That's what it was. So each removes a counted, place each token, place it with a number token of a value 1 higher, so it makes it better. Oh man, I'm going to do a bunch of math on this. I feel like the correct answer is change the -5 to the -4. Because even though sometimes the spooky tokens are still worse than -4, not having the -5 in there be like basically another auto fail, because when we're committing to stuff like getting +4 is usually what we're at. That feels correct. It's hard to say if it's the absolute correct best play. Makes it so there's 2 -4s. I mean, the other option is like make a -3 into a -2, which makes some of the more random tests a little bit chancier. I think I'll probably do the -5 to the -4. I'll confer with Dan and see when before the next scenario, and see if that's what he likes as well. But for now, that's what we'll do. Yeah. Alright, so we got a plus, a -4, minus a -5. Okay. Alright, cool. I don't know if that's worth how much time was spent doing that. It definitely would have been worth it if we also had like the weakness in our deck, maybe. I don't know. I guess it's like if you're gonna have those on your route anyway, maybe it makes sense. But oops. Alright. So now I mark our time to go to San Francisco. Did I mark that time already when I accidentally went to Tokyo? I'll have to double check. I think we probably won't get to 24, so I don't think we'll worry about that right now. All right, San Francisco, 30, 36, 30 or 26. All right. All right. I hit the Zeta when we got to Tokyo. Okay, so then, okay, so we should be okay right now. All right, so 26 G Quid. Yeah, the Zeta was 20, so 21 would be getting to San Francisco. Okay. All right, Quid Pro Quo again. We are in San Francisco. Drink some more water. So much story text. All right. All right. A set of obscure and overly complex instructions leads you to a drab two-story stone building on the edge of San Francisco's Chinatown neighborhood. Inside, a bored attendant slumps behind a desk on a brass elevator. Punching in a specific code, the elevator takes you to the deep underground, farther than you could have predicted. On negative 14F, you step out and are greeted by an imposing man in a well-tailored suit and black fedora. Archibald Hudson, we met in London, he reminds you. Your cell is quite the talk around the office. The agent leads you down a seemingly endless hallway lined with alcoves. Each alcove displays something different. A model of a hollow earth, a crystal skull, a map with ley lines, and other unknown markings. You pause to look at a half-eaten ear of core, still steaming. For what I hear, the corn's been cooked for perfection for the last 2 decades. So is the dame who was eating it, Agent Hudson says grimly. Looking at the paradimensional relic gives you a headache. Your eyes struggle to focus on them. They are both there or not there at the same time. Hudson ushers you down a side hall into a boxy room crammed with metal filing cabinets and sits down behind a heavy wooden desk. He speaks into a ring and spring microphone. File 26 G2, interview conducted by Hudson Archibald, designation 42A6-95I or 1. That's Agent Hudson. That's Agent Hudson to you. He arches an eyebrow. Over the next several hours, you answer a gauntlet of grueling questions about your experience thus far, ranging from the past day to your experience in London. When it's done, Agent Hudson leans back and lights a cigarette. I'll admit, I was skeptic about you from the start, but Commissioner Taylor has good instincts, and I haven't seen them steer her wrong yet. He says, you've done good work so far. We have some intel and some resources that might be useful to you. Tell me what the Foundation can do for you. Okay, so we would like to get around faster. I've peeked at that. It is like a ticket that I think lets you teleport, basically. Right. Yeah, so you can basically, at any time when you embark, you can spend a time to go anywhere. Which, would that somehow make it so I can read more story text, or do another scenario? I feel like the answer is yes. I guess I don't need the experience, so I'm probably gonna take the ticket. I guess I'll again confer with Dan to see if he wants that one extra experience and if that'll help him be in better shape. But I don't think I really need it. Yeah, I could use it to fly back to. And I haven't unlocked any of this stuff, so I have no reason to go back here. I feel like somehow I had a plan to go to Australia. I think my plan was if I have enough time after Havana, go to Buenos Aires, and then go to Sydney and Perth. But I have the timed event, but it's at 25. Who knows what that timed event could mean? I didn't unlock a location from it, right? So I don't. Did it actually tell me somewhere to go that I've forgotten about? He's working solo. Did he say where he's going? Did I miss that? I don't think he told me where he was going. So, who knows? But yeah, it's at 25. I don't think I'm gonna hit 25. I am supposed to be at 20 right now, right? I hit the Zeta. I hit the 20 or 21. I hit the 20 when I got to Tokyo, and then immediately read the thing and forgot to do Tokyo. Did Tokyo. Now I moved to San Fran at 21. Now I'm gonna go to Anchorage next, which is gonna be a scenario. So I guess, yeah, the question is, do we want the experience or the ticket. And I guess, can I use the ticket? So I have... Oh, is the timed event like a random scenario? No. That'd be weird, because they're all like location based. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna take the ticket because it's gonna say it'll probably I'd save it because there's originally had nothing to do in San Juan. So after Anchorage, which puts me at 22, then I assume it'll take. I assume this scenario will be at least one time, so I'll be 23 at the end of this. Then my plan was, and maybe it will be two. I don't know. Who knows? Then I go to Bermuda, so we'll assume one. So that is 24, 25, 26 to get to Havana, assuming none of these add extra time. Yeah, if the ticket can help me get an extra scenario in, I'm kind of assuming running out of time just triggers the final scenario and doesn't like end the campaign, because that'd be kind of lame. I think that'd be very lame. It's like, oh, you ran out of time, game over. But yeah. So I think I can get to Havana with 26. I'll assume that's 27, 28, maybe 29 if this is like a event to get the thingy back. 30, 31. Again, assuming nothing adds extra time. So I think I have enough time to at least get to Havana and Buenos Aires, and then maybe if I've unlocked the last a scenario somewhere, we could fly there. I think that's the dream. We'll see if we're happened. Delivering intel, I think was just a token, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just a token. So we've gotten. Okay, so yeah, then I go to Anchorage. So I'm at 22 upon hitting Anchorage. We have 13 time left. At least 3 events in that time. There's one on 20. I guess one will the 25 trigger. Assuming Anchorage is only one extra time. I leave with 23. So when I hit Bermuda, I'd get 24, and then immediately hit 25. So it'll be during the next travel session, most likely. All right. Well, I think that's all the story text, because Anchorage is a scenario, so I'll force Stan to listen to that story text when we play it. On thin ice, is this a scary scenario? It's class yellow, so maybe that's not too scary. What do my notes say? I guess we did both the red ones. We did Alexandria and we did Morocco. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I still have no idea. It seemed like doing Morocco early was good, and it seemed like there was also that Alexandria also had some difficulty scaling, but I don't know if it was as extreme as Marrakesh. Like, it seemed like, I don't know. So, oh man, you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of story text. This looks like there's not much story text for this one. Well, there's one page, but that's fine. How difficult it is going to be depending on a lot of choices. Why? How much? Oh yeah, there's definitely some choices there. Is that an interlude? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for the world adventures with Wendy and Joe, who's asleep. For now. So we'll be tackling Anchorage. Yeah, so slight spoilers. That is, Anchorage is on thin ice next. So I don't know what the theme of this scenario is. What's the dossier going? Thorn. That's not a cool descriptive. That's like an actual name. Basically. Oh, he like doesn't age or something. Well, we'll find out. I assume once again we'll have to like decide to trust him or try to steal the key from him or something, or race against him with the key. I have to remember I have to take a trauma. I feel like physical is correct because I usually like agility is dodging physical damage / evading, and my weakness does horror to me directly. So, and I'll have to remind Dan that he gets a trauma. I don't know what he'll pick. Probably, I guess, damage, but I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, thanks thanks to those that hung on chat and made sure I didn't get lost. um, and yeah, if you're watching this later on YouTube, of course, like, subscribe, comment if you've noticed I made an error somehow. Somehow in this world traveling, let me know and I'll try to correct it. Offline, I'm gonna double check to see if I am at the correct time of 22, and if I didn't miss anything. So yeah, if you are hanging out on Twitch with us, we are planning to do more scenarios this weekend, being last weekend of January. So we are planning to do another one tonight. It'll be kind of late for depending where you are in the world. I think we're trying to start at like 9:30ish Eastern time tonight. Around that time, I'll ping in the Discords when we go live, so people can join if they're around. And I think we're also planning to do one tomorrow on Sunday. I'm gonna try to. I don't know if the YouTube videos will be up in time for anyone to hear this, but you know, if you're hanging on Twitch, you can spread the word. But yeah, as always, like, subscribe, comment, follow us at social.mur.fm. The Discord link is also at that social.mur.fm, and it's probably on a splash somewhere if you're watching on YouTube. So thanks to everyone for hanging out. We'll catch you next time. Bye bye.